Happy Thanksgiving and welcome into the Bro 4 Squad podcast. And we are serving up another world famous movie commentary on Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. We have our movies paused at the 1 second mark. There is no intro or anything. We're watching this on Apple TV Plus. So while you get there, let's go around and meet the bros. I'm Matt Geiger alongside Jeff Hornacek. And Jeff, since none of us are really familiar with this, I just want to read you on Google basically
perfect
what this movie is about. So Peppermint Patty invites everyone to Charlie Brown's for Thanksgiving, even though Charlie's going out of town to see his grandmother, and Snoopy decides to cook his own version of a Thanksgiving meal to help out with the friends.
So Charlie is going to miss the social event of the year.
Yes, yeah.
Wow,
so Charlie's kind of the Native American in this whole fucking thing. We're basically just taking your place.
All right, you taught us how to grow corn. Thanks, we'll kill you now.
So actually, this it's historically accurate thus far. So, all right,
Everyone's
1 second in Apple TV Plus, or if you're watching it on NBC or whatever old station still plays this.
I hope it's still on TV. But...
I'm guessing it is every Thanksgiving. November 20th, 1973 is when this released, so we were not born yet. We're pressing play in 3, 2, 1, Thanksgiving, Charlie Brown. Now, Peppermint Patty is a good chick. She always teaches all the other girls how to pull out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. She's also an amateur psychologist. Who doesn't want to date that? Someone who's constantly analyzing you.
As a kid, I thought this was stupid. As an adult, though, who, kind of love to have sex with girls,
This
you
is
keep
flirting.
you keep taking your shot. You keep trying to kick the ball even though she pulls out all the time. I mean, she's a little flirt, but that's just the way it is.
Now, do you think Peppermint Patty does this because she reads something on the kick block team and she's like, I can pull this and run it in? Or is she just trying to be a bitch?
I don't know if she's the Peyton Manning before her time. She's calling Omaha and Charlie Brown's not getting the audible. Or
what does he say in the replacement? I read Blitz.
And Charlie Brown here, too, I'm guessing he's like 6, but he has the hairline of a 45-year-old.
Yeah, maybe he has that, what's her fucking name? Jada Pinkett situation going on.
I don't know.
Alopecia.
Am I supposed to slap you now for saying that?
Is he running back to kick this? Because this is a big fucking head start. Jesus Christ, he's 26
There's
yards away.
no way your line can hold for that long, Charlie. It's like
they're overloaded on the right side.
This isn't a kickoff. Well, maybe it's a kickoff.
Must be.
Okay.
And it's windy. Is that why she's...
So, we were 90s kids.
Wait, is this Lucy or Peppermint Patty?
That's Peppermint Patty.
Is Lucy his sister then?
I don't fucking know. I was about to say... We're 90s. We never watched Peanuts.
No, I didn't either.
Watched Peanuts. I mean, I know who Snoopy is. Woodstock is the bird.
Yeah, I know Woodstock and Snoopy. I know Linus with the blanket.
How the fuck would I look that up? So I'm gonna go.
Pigpen is the one. Just Google
Peanuts cast.
Do characters. Yeah.
Because they're not.
This is Lucy, I think, his little sister.
Yes, Peppermint Patty is kind of the bee.
So is he interested in Peppermint Patty? Or is
Lucy is the bitchy chick. Peppermint Patty is the red-haired girl with the freckles.
Sally
is his sister.
Sally?
Yeah.
Wow, never. If you gave me 10 guesses,
and
would not have guessed.
Way down is Franklin, the black character.
African American.
73 different times.
Jesus Christ. Can't judge Charles Schultz. He did the best he could. So here's Sally's like, have you fucking gotten the Evite for this party? Because we're not going to be here. Social suicide. My birthday is right around Thanksgiving, and growing up, I can relate. I mean, it would always suck because I couldn't throw parties. Everyone either had family in town or they were going out of town. Here's my boy Linus.
He's awesome. He is always just sucking his finger with a blanket.
So I also had a blanket when I grew up that I was pretty attached to. So Linus was basically, you want to like see yourself in a character.
Yeah, he's taking that to college now. It's his jizz blanket.
Yeah, multi-use. Chicks love the... he's just putting himself out there. He's vulnerable.
It's like Aerosmith. Each decade, it just kind of refines itself. Just gets better.
Yeah. He keeps the blanket, just repurposes it.
I'll have to say, it's fucking insane that neither one of us have really seen this, because as 90s kids, before, like a vacation or a break, Thanksgiving break, teachers who obviously were growing up in the 70s would show shit like this.
Yeah.
And I never
The
remember
TV cart
watching-
would wheel in.
Never
and
remember
it
the
would be
TV
on.
cart with the harness on there because why? Like, are you running it down the
Downhill,
hall?
yeah, we're gonna
Can't
jump
you
off
just
a
have
ramp.
your hand on it? Make sure it doesn't.
I will say there's a few things that Charlie
This is
Brown.
Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, she's definitely a lesbian, which is totally fine.
Back then too. I mean,
Good for her.
everyone hated her. Nowadays, I mean, there'd be celebrations in the streets. Let's block off the streets and have parades.
One thing that Charlie Brown did perfect is, not perfect, but I guess make the trope mainstream, is when an adult is on the other end of the phone. Do you remember how it sounds to him?
Yeah, you get like it's basically how our wives sound now.
Exactly. It's so, but it's metaphorical. When you're a kid, things adults say just go in one ear, not
So
the
here's
other.
Peppermint Patty calling Charlie, asking for equal pay. I mean, she's in the fucking show just as much as Charlie. It makes sense.
She calls him Chuck. I like that. She's definitely flirting with him, though.
I don't remember. And what's great is I think we got younger listeners. I don't remember the difference between
Wait.
Lucy and Peppermint. Like I don't.
Okay,
remember
that
Peppermint
description is wrong. Peppermint Patty invited herself over to Charlie Brown's. And now he's saying the issue is, oh, wait. Maybe things are changing here.
I think she's inviting everyone over, and Charlie's like, "I'm going to my grandma's."
Who
because she
invites
can actually-
themselves to your house?
I could name some people.
Oh, that's true. Maybe we shouldn't answer that question. Banner.
It just stays there for months.
Oh boy, this is a problem.
We're watching the show because we've never. I don't remember any of this. I do remember it was always on after like. Stay tuned after the Cowboys game for Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to be eating or doing
Passed
something.
out on the couch, but its ratings probably killed because no one ever remembers to change the channel. Dude, the phone is ringing off the hook.
There's Franklin.
I like Franklin's look.
I know. We need more Franklin in this show.
I mean, let's just call out the elephant in the room. Peppermint Patty, why don't you learn some fucking social norms? It's one thing to invite yourself over, but now everyone that she's ever talked to is getting an open invite. How much food do you think he has?
It's kind of scary, too, in 73. I mean, Charles Schwartz is the one who created the show, right?
Yeah.
I mean, were any of these kids touched? Probably.
Now they're
say.
58-year-olds with serious attachment
None of them had
issues.
big acting careers,
Right.
so it makes sense.
Linus actually got into porn for a little while, from what I heard.
I know, it was him and his blanket.
Which it's weird how big the demographic is. That
As a
people
new
would pay for
Broforce
that.
Squad stick, I don't think you were here for this because you were in the other room, but now we talk about whatever we're watching as if there was a porno, and I'm sure there's Charlie Brown pornos around.
God. You can find porno of anything.
And if you can't, you should create it because it's a great...
It's a huge market.
It's a good business opportunity.
So I wonder
Cook
why...
for your friends first, then go to your grandma's. Problem solved.
I will say one kind of alarming thing about this town, we must be in Canada, because people just walk in other people's fucking houses. No one's door is closed.
Okay, this is one thing I hate about Thanksgiving. And I really love Thanksgiving.
It's a great holiday.
But he's saying, why don't you just cook for your friends and go to your grandma's? Like, I can't cook Thanksgiving. You know what? It just needs to be a great meal. And if you don't... First off, I hate oven turkey. You either smoke it or deep fat fry it, or I won't fucking have it. It's too dry. So one time, I didn't really want to smoke the turkey. It took too long. Just fucking grill burgers and steak.
All you need is a good meal.
Yeah,
You could even do the Thanksgiving sides, you know?
Right. I mean, it's just a feast.
I will say one interesting thing about Charlie Brown, and someone out there probably has an example that definitely runs counter to this, so put it in the comments. But typically, Snoopy has his own subplot in everything.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing his own thing.
Which is why everyone loves Snoopy.
Right. He walks to the beat of his own drum, if you will.
I will say, though, for the time, him sleeping on top of his doghouse was, like, fucking awesome.
Oh, he's
this is hilarious.
he's the dude that just drives around. Like, he goes on a date with a chick, and she's like, "Where do you live?" He's like, "Where don't I live?" You know? Kind of everywhere. So he's got a good handle. I believe he's a beagle, which I used to have. Great dogs.
I will say, even though this is not my time period, and having a toddler now, they don't make shows like this anymore. Like, back in the day, like, our parents watched this, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, all those shows are fucking awesome. There's a couple good shows now, but, I mean, I can fuck with Peanuts. It's fine. I like it better than some of the other shit.
I think Apple TV Maybe not as a show, but I know there was a movie recently, like a sort of CGI one, but I think Apple TV did something with it. I remember there was like outrage when they bought this because they were taking like all the Charlie Brown specials off of network television where they had been since '73, and people were like, "You're going to take away my Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown?" And Apple TV's like, "Yeah, we paid $200 million for it. You can fuck off."
Which we'll probably do that one too. It's July right now. It's hotter than fuck when we're posting this, and we're dreaming about November weather.
Yeah, about simpler times, about football and cool fall air.
I don't know how I feel about that because the streaming service lets younger kids enjoy this that probably wouldn't. But then I feel bad for the older crowd that's like a tradition.
It
for
is,
them.
yeah, 100%.
I'll have to say for HBO Max for Christmas, it had Elf, Christmas Vacation, and A Christmas Story. I'm good.
Jesus.
I'm set. And, Disney Plus has the Santa Claus, which is the only other Christmas movie I watch. But, they almost took them off TV because they're all on streaming now. But I'd rather watch it streaming with no commercials, no edits, or anything like that.
So I wonder now that A Christmas Story is on HBO Max, will they still do the traditional thing where
they still do that, but it's not on TV like leading up to it very much at all.
Who hasn't gotten in this fight with their lawn chair?
You're
drunk and the thing just won't fucking open up properly. You got to go for the legs. Low man wins.
So Snoopy is Charlie Brown's dog, I believe.
Yeah.
But Charlie never fucking takes care of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They really don't interact that much.
What are we teaching kids? Oh, yeah, just ask your parents for a dog and
and then ignore it. It won't
just becomes Joe Cool and fucking goes grocery shopping?
Yeah, and it learns how to fly a plane. Snoopy is a pilot. Who's this bitch with the glasses?
Let me look her up. I've seen her.
This is a chick that Peppermint Patty invited over to Charlie's.
Glasses. Marcy.
Of course. Peppermint Patty's stooge.
Pigpen, I don't know if he's been in there yet. He
plays the piano. He's the one that plays the...
He looks like... Not Squeak. What's...
Homeless?
No, the kid from South Park that's like...
Tweak?
Tweak. He looks like
has
Tweak before
addiction.
Tweak. And there's Schroeder.
Guys, I think Snoopy has this all figured out. Look, he's even tying the sheet down. He's fucking genius.
People church up Thanksgiving a little too much.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just about getting together, drinking, and eating fucking food. That's all it is. And giving thanks also.
Sure, we're thankful.
For the Indians just kind of getting out of the way.
We're just, letting us play through,
they did. In a golf thing, they're just like, hey, why don't you just play through? And by the way, this is my country club, but why don't you just take it too?
Sure.
And I'll
take
go
my clubs.
I'll go over here on this reservation with shitty landed waterfall. And
this public course that hasn't been mowed in 3 months.
Yeah, and make a casino or something.
I've never seen those types of toasters, the sideways ones. Have you?
No.
Like, how does it toast both sides of the bread? That doesn't even make sense.
Magic. Popcorn for Thanksgiving? All right.
Not opposed. No. Yeah, sure. Cook on the stovetop.
It depends on what you want. If you have a bunch of people that you want an Instagram Thanksgiving, then yeah, do it. But if you got someone that's been smoking weed all day, like Banner, you can make popcorn, Jolly Ranchers, and order a
That's what they had.
They
had the gummy bright crawlers in one of those jars. The key for a Thanksgiving, like you were saying, is you pop open your bottle of wine around like 11, and that way by like 2 you're pretty hammered. You take your nap mid-afternoon, and then you wake up and everything is good to go.
I think Thurman will back me on this, but the secret is you got to smoke your turkey because you get up at 5 to start smoking.
That take? 12 hours?
No, probably about 5 or 6. It depends. I smoke a turkey breast, so it takes way less, and there's not as much shit to get away. It's all.
Do you even have to cut it? Really?
You cut it, but it's all meat. There's no shit to get rid of, like the
Where do you
neck
get
and
that?
everything. Just like Kroger.
Oh, really?
Tom, yeah, whatever. But it takes about 4 to 6 hours. So at that time, you're helping your wife. You're like, hey, I'm cooking the main thing, so just leave me alone while I get drunk outside.
Right.
And I got checking a lot. I mean, I can't ruin the turkey.
You go out there, they don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm monitoring it.
If I ruin the turkey, why don't I just slap Jesus in the face?
Right, then there's no point in doing any of this. The things that he has in his doghouse, it's like Mary Poppins' bag. You never know what he's going to pull out of there. I would love if he had like a DirecTV dish on the top of it.
I'm sure he does.
I get Sunday ticket if any of you guys want to come by.
So Woodstock, I think, is the bird. pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know if Woodstock is another pet of Charlie's or if he's just like a neighborhood bird
It's just a bird.
who's befriended Snoopy.
I mean, you don't have a bird pet. I guess some people do. That's just fucking
Weirdos. Anyone out there with a bird pet?
So
unsubscribe.
I mean, know more about American history than I do, but it is insanely weird that when we were younger, they're like, yeah, the Native Americans, we just got together, we had a good meal.
We had a dinner.
We slapped ass. We didn't rape their women,
No.
or it wasn't genocide
or
at all.
pillage their land.
No,
Yeah, it was great.
Look at these pictures that we have of cartoons. That's what it was.
Once they taught us how to grow corn, we definitely didn't murder all of them.
There was probably one. I mean, the story of Thanksgiving, but there was one time that was like, hey, let's get together. And they probably talked about stuff, and then.
But it's probably like that bar scene in Inglourious Bastards where the whole time.
It turned out bad.
Yeah, everyone, you're like, I don't believe a word they're saying. So is he making Woodstock and him like reenact Thanksgiving?
Yeah. They're going to start, raping and burning villages here in a second.
It has to be accurate. What's Woodstock's deal, bro? And no one's 100% this time of year. You got to play through the pain.
I'm sure there's some people here that are listening that are younger than us that this is their Thanksgiving tradition to watch the show on. I'm guessing it's NBC. That's why I looked.
We're in our early to mid 30s for those listening.
But I've never had that. Just simply like Christmas Story was my tradition, and you hardly ever watch that film.
I hate that.
You
film.
don't even like that film. So everyone has different traditions, but I don't.
Cycly's family watches it on the loop.
Oh yeah, I do too. Like whenever we wake up to open presents, we push play, and it's always on. However, Thanksgiving, I'm not sure if this is Thanksgiving Eve, like when this is shown, because NBC now has the Sunday
parade.
Night Football.
Well, and the Thanksgiving Day parade is the daytime.
Thanksgiving Day parade. They have Sunday Night Football. It's not Sunday Night Football,
but they call
it. It's that flagship show.
Well,
for
now
Thanksgiving, Fox has.
Now they have 3 games on Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
Literally
Fox has
day.
the Cowboys game. CBS has the Lions game.
Yeah.
So
and then there's a night game.
Right, and the night game's NBC.
NBC, yeah.
So and NBC has the Macy's Day.
Was it always 3 games on Thanksgiving? I know the Lions and Cowboys have always played.
It's always Lions Cowboys. That was it. And then they're like, hey, why don't we just push another fucking team to play on 3 days rest?
Cool.
I mean, CTE isn't real. Everyone knows that. It's a
made
up thing, like climate
like the female
change.
orgasm and climate change. Yeah.
It's all made up. Let's get 107 here.
I'm not picking out anyone in particular, Arthur, but with all this sugar, is diabetes not a concern?
It's Franklin.
Franklin, yeah, that's what I said. Is Arthur the
Arthur's
aardvark?
like the aardvark.
Franklin's the turtle. Okay, that makes sense.
They're both confused. Kind of sissy shows. You don't want your kids to watch them, but
although Arthur has that hilarious meme where he gets angry and makes the fist.
Dessert first. I wonder if Franklin
how the Italians do it.
Turns out to be Dwayne the Rock Johnson later in life.
Yeah, why? Hold up. Why is Franklin sitting on the side all by himself?
No shit. It makes no sense.
Plessy versus Ferguson, bro.
Bread, jelly beans, popcorn, and it looks
pretzels
like
pretzel
or
bites.
Cigarettes
or cigarellos. I'm really alarmed by the seating situation here.
Charlie Brown's like, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here so I can go have a real Thanksgiving dinner.
At least they served him. Wait, so how did they get out of going to their grandma's?
He's going to cook for his friends, then go to his grandma's.
All right.
So he's probably not eating here at all. He's like, listen, I'm just going to wait for grandma's show.
Are parents ever shown in this show? Or is it like the show Muppet Babies where they only show parents from the knee down?
I don't know if parents are shown. The teacher's shown because she's the one that talks like, wah, 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 whatever.
That's right. A piece of toast, a pretzel. So you're going to invite yourself over.
Blockhead cooked all this, and that back in the day.
What's the equivalent of blockhead right now? Fuckface? I mean, back then it was like
D-bag, probably.
I mean, Peppermint Patty. This is a Karen moment, right?
Yeah, the person usually bitching about the food brought rolls.
Yeah,
like
pre-packaged.
Yeah. Had to fucking put these in.
I found these yeast rolls at Target on clearance because they baked them yesterday. Oh, thank you. And they gave her the throne.
Is there anything more stressful than having Thanksgiving?
No.
Because you got to cook, you got to do everything.
We did it last year for the first time, and yeah.
It's terrible.
And you know how my wife is. She she sets the bar very high.
Well,
when
everything
hosting.
has to be perfect, like Dumb and Dumber.
Exactly.
Like,
You know, women. Just a few hours late.
it is hard to get everything done on time, and then usually people come and start talking to you, and then you kind of lose track of time or whatever. Honestly, smoking the turkey, we'll never tell women this, is like the easiest thing to fucking do. All the prep takes the night before, and then you just gotta
put like the rub on it and everything.
You just gotta check it and then just rebaste it every like hour. That's fucking it. That's all you gotta do.
I need to get your smoker because first off, your back patio setup is fucking perfect, but also I kind of like the set it and forget it model of cooking.
Smokers take forever, but you won't burn it.
Right.
Like, it's not like if you go take a piss and open a beer and then you go outside and literally your hot dogs are on fire. Right. I've had that happen before.
Your neighbor's like, Chief, I think something's going wrong.
I would always put the burgers on the other side because if you flipped them, they're just like burnt to a fucking crisp. It's like, hey, don't look on that side.
She's like, Charlie, I think you have a shot to make out with her tonight, but this fucking popcorn and toast did not.
Literally every single time we host Thanksgiving, my wife's like, I ruined Thanksgiving. I'm like, well, there's starving kids somewhere.
Also, like, think about it this way, realistically. Has anyone ever gone to a Thanksgiving left and been like, that was a fucking nightmare?
She's talking about those early pilgrims, like, you know, they didn't care about the food. They're just raping and pillaging everyone.
They were too busy murdering kids to actually know, is this turkey well done or not?
Maybe that's why they murdered and raped, because the turkey was overcooked.
Right, if it's dried out, yeah. Like Christmas Vacation, where it like fucking steam comes out of it. It's like brittle.
That won't happen when you smoke it. Like, you'd have to leave it in for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way that would happen.
I don't think he was apologizing, but
man, there's enough problems in the world already. Back in 73.
What were there? I guess fucking Vietnam. That's about it.
Was that in 73?
I think 72 was Vietnam.
I think that was the gas shortage.
We're about to start the Cold War. It's fucking Russians.
I don't fucking know.
This animation, obviously at its time, you know, pretty on par. I wonder if South Park was kind of inspired by it, like the minimalist, like less is more.
I prefer this animation over Pixar sometimes. I just like
I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's drawing where you imagine how long that would take. Like, you have to flip 20 pages for them to just itch their ear.
It's fucking insane.
What do they do all day?
You understand now, like why? Being an artist is like you'd come in and I have to draw Charlie on the phone 6 times.
You would have to masturbate stranger style. There's no fucking way you could jerk off with your.
Or you'd be like Quagmire in Family Guy when he discovers internet porn, where his arm is just like juiced.
He's talking about Pepper. She's a great baseball player, and there's a boy named Franklin over here. I don't know. I think he's stealing from us.
His pockets look pretty plump. We're gonna shake him down before he leaves. Yes, the food was prepared by an animal.
Snoopy's having dessert.
Say what you want. Maybe the food isn't up to Peppermint Patty's standard, but like Snoopy's enthusiasm and passion.
He's the only one cooking too. Like, what the fuck?
God forbid I'm breaking my fucking back over here.
That's safe. In 73 though, sure, just throw a couch back there and have the kids.
This is a shaggin' wagon right here.
Bye, Snoopy. Thanks for cooking. You can't go to Grandma's though.
We're not gonna buckle up, but yeah, you know how she is about dogs in the house.
Also, the person driving us is a parent that's been drinking since noon watching football.
And their coffee cups smelled like rum.
Simpler times.
Dude, cops back then wouldn't even pull you over for a DUI on a holiday like this.
They'd be like, hey, get to where you're going. Stay there.
You son of a bitch.
We're in Oklahoma and we got to drive to Corpus. Well.
You got 6 more hours. You might want to stop and get a beer run on the way.
Yeah, at least get some coffee. Jesus.
Keep yourself wired. This seating setup is a bit odd. This looks like one of those Korean church vans.
That's the trunk. Like, who's sitting in the back seat?
His grandma has a condo? Where do you think this is? Are they in, like, Ann Arbor, Michigan?
Well, the leaves are turning colors and dropping, so I don't know. Hollywood, California, probably. The way in 73 was.
If you're wondering that reference, go back and listen to our movie commentary on the original Halloween, directed by John Carpenter, where it's clearly being filmed in Palo Alto, California.
It's
but
Pasadena, and they're like
supposed to be
Haddonfield,
Illinois. Like, it's clearly 73 and sunny.
It's cool and breezy, 83 degrees today on October 31st in Haddonfield.
It wouldn't be.
And the low is 75. Like, fuck, really?
It'd be cold as dick, and people would be like, there'd be hobos huddled by trash cans with fires. Now Snoopy, this is when he would get out his flask.
I guess Snoopy is like, this is like the divorced parent. Like, all right, I hosted Thanksgiving, I did my best, now they're all
Now I'm going to have my whore Tina over, and I'm going to give you the real food. Yeah. Those shithead kids that just want chicken fingers. Can't waste
get the fuck out of here. Yeah. It wasn't ready in time, and everyone's in a fucking hoot.
That's on them. Turkey for two. What's Charlie Brown and them going to think when they come back and they see the leftovers in the fridge?
I don't know if there'll be any leftovers. I think Woodstock and Snoopy can take care of it.
Woodstock has been smoking all day. He's definitely got the munchies. I kind of like the sides, the carrots and the onions.
Thanksgiving's all about family, but I don't know. One year it'd be kind of cool just to cook for myself and have no one there and just watch Planes, Cherries, and Automobiles, just a quiet house.
Have one TV with the movie and the other TV with football. And do a 3-game parlay.
It depends how your life has turned out, but if you're someone with a wife, kids, family, and everything, you see a person alone at the bar drinking by themselves having dinner, and you're like, that lucky son of a bitch.
Dude, funny story about that. So
God.
my 21st birthday was the day before Thanksgiving when it happened. Cycly and his sister took me out to the bar, and those were the people buying me drinks. Were like the dads that just didn't have the kids.
Thanksgiving Eve is like a huge fucking holiday.
By the way, before we close, what's your thoughts on pumpkin pie? Because I love it. Cold pumpkin pie.
No whipped cream, because I like it so much.
I like light Cool Whip.
I think Cool Whip ruins it because of pumpkin pie. So pumpkin pie and pecan pie are like my two fucking go-tos.
Pumpkin is just, I hate to sound like a basic bitch. Pumpkin's just a good flavor.
Yes, it is. And I hate people that just douse it in whipped cream. I'm just like, dude, you're ruining it.
I mean, at that point, it might as well be a rock if you're going to put
It's basically like a great salad that you just douse in ranch. I'm like, you're ruining it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, that was Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Final thought. I mean, it was fine. It was quick. I liked it. I might start watching this during Thanksgiving. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a quick watch. And one thing it does make you appreciate is, I think, the message would be grateful. And also, if a chef is willing to mix it up on Thanksgiving, don't write anything off. If they come out with a weird accoutrement of meal that you don't think belongs in Thanksgiving, just give it a chance.
And if they bitch about it, don't break out the turkey. Save it for people that are fucking appreciative.
Peppermint patty. If you're at home and you're like defending peppermint patty, I got news for you. You're peppermint patty.
Yeah, you're Karen. She was Karen in 73. All right, we've been the Broforce Squad. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to us all there. We're on iTunes. Broforcesquad.com is where you can find all our content. We're on Letterboxd. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Subscribe to us on all those and follow us. Until then, we will see you, I guess, at Christmas.
Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone. Mahalo.
Mahalo.